What if I told you that most people who move abroad end up somewhere they never originally planned? They fall in love with a photo, book a flight, and figure out the rest later. And honestly, some of those stories end beautifully, but most of them end with a very expensive lesson learned. Today, we are skipping that expensive lesson. This is the Second Homeland, and we are talking about how to actually identify the right places for your relocation 3 to 6 months before you pack a single box. Last time we talked about what drives people to consider living abroad in the first place. Whether it was financial freedom, lifestyle, adventure, or just needing a reset, you got honest with yourself about your why. That clarity matters enormously right now because your why is literally the compass that will guide every decision in this video. So here is where we begin. Before you open a single travel blog, before you watch another gorgeous sunset reel from someone sipping a drink on a beach somewhere, I need you to do something first. Write down your non-negotiables, not your dream list, not your wish list, your absolute must-haves. Think about healthcare access, internet reliability if you work remotely, climate preferences, proximity to an airport with international routes, language barriers you are and are not willing to deal with, safety considerations, and cost of living relative to your current income or savings. This is your filter. Everything else gets measured against this filter. Now here's something most people skip entirely in this stage, and it costs them later. Legal feasibility. Not every country will let you live there long term just because you want to. Some have golden visa programs tied to investment thresholds. Some have digital nomad visas with income requirements. Some require proof of pension income. Some are notoriously difficult for foreign residents to navigate bureaucratically. So before you fall emotionally in love with the destination, spend some time understanding whether you can actually stay there legally and under what conditions. Let me give you a simple framework for this phase. Think in 3 categories. First, countries that are immediately accessible to you based on your passport and financial situation. Second, countries that are aspirational but achievable within your planning window. Third, countries that are long-term goals requiring significant preparation. You do not need to eliminate the third category. You just need to be honest about where each destination actually sits. Now let's talk about climate and geography because these matter more than people admit. A lot of people idealize warm weather until they experience their first rainy season in a tropical country with no air conditioning in the wrong accommodation. Others move somewhere beautiful but isolating and realize they needed city energy to stay sane. Think honestly about the physical environment that helps you thrive, not just survive. Your mental health, your daily routine, your social life, all of these are shaped by the environment around you. Here is a value checkpoint for you right now. If you have completed your non-negotiables list, identified your legal access tier for potential destinations, and thought seriously about climate and geography fit, you are already ahead of roughly 80% of people who say they want to move abroad. Most people stay stuck in daydream mode for years. You are building an actual framework. Next, community. This is deeply underestimated. Humans need people. Moving abroad and feeling isolated is one of the most common reasons people return home earlier than planned. When you research destinations, actively look into the existing expat community, the local culture's openness to foreigners, the availability of social spaces where you can meet people, whether that is co-working spaces, language exchange meetups, sports clubs, or creative groups. A location that ticks every practical box but leaves you lonely is not a win. Let us talk logistics now, specifically healthcare. If you have ongoing medical needs, this should rank near the top of your filter. Research the quality of healthcare in your shortlisted destinations. Look into what international health insurance typically covers in those regions and what it costs. For some people, especially those over 50 or managing chronic conditions, healthcare access genuinely narrows the list significantly, and that is completely okay. Better to know now than 12 months in. Here is the practical assignment for this stage of your planning. Create a simple comparison document. List your top 4 to 6 destinations. Across the top, put your key criteria columns, things like visa accessibility, cost of living, healthcare quality, internet reliability, climate, English or language accessibility, community size, and flight connections, home. Then score each destination honestly. Not what looks best on Instagram, what actually serves your real life. You will probably find that this exercise either confirms one destination that keeps rising to the top or reveals that you need more research before you can meaningfully compare. Both outcomes are useful. Both save you from making an expensive emotional decision. Now, something I want you to sit with. The right destination for you is not the most popular one in the expat community right now. Popularity does not equal fit. Some of the most celebrated expat hotspots are becoming increasingly expensive precisely because of their popularity. Somewhere less talked about might serve your life far better. Be open to the unexpected answer your research might reveal. You are 3 to 6 months out from a real move. That timeline exists for a reason. You are not rushing this. You are building conviction based on research and honest self-assessment, not panic, not FOMO, and not someone else's highlight reel. By the end of this phase, you should have a short list of 2 or 3 destinations that genuinely make sense for your life. Not places you hope will work, places you have evidence will work. In the next video, we are going to go deeper into what it actually costs to live in different destinations, how to build a realistic relocation budget, and why the numbers most people find online are almost never accurate for real life. That is where things get really interesting. For now, do the work, make the list, run it through your filter. Your future self living somewhere extraordinary will thank you for the homework you did today. See you in video 3.